Well, it's been a few weeks since I've watched House of Ashur, thanks to Stranger Things, Christmas, and New Year's, along with all the alcohol and illicit drugs needed to put up with my in laws. My nasal cavity will never be the same, I'll tell you that much. So I decided to pick up where I left off and checked out episode 4 to see if things had gotten better with the show, and no, they have not. And I'm not going to waste any more time on this shit. It's obvious that Stars doesn't care about good storytelling, it doesn't care about honoring the Spartacus name and the untimely death of star Andy Whitfield, so I'm done. After episode 4, this House of Ashur show can lick both of my ass cheeks because I'm not watching any more of it. Okay, alright, I watched all the way up until episode 8 because I'm a masochist, alright. House of Ashur. Let's talk about it. Right out of the gate, we're taking on the elephant in the room, Akelia. Now, I'll die on the hill that she's not a Mary Sue, right? She's just not. A Mary Sue is a female character that is portrayed as free of weaknesses or character flaws. So think of characters like Rey Palpatine, Captain Marvel, Marie Sue, Rey Palpatine, and maybe even Rey Palpatine.
Rey Skywalker.
Palpatine. The women I just listed are automatically badass in every way and don't have any major problems or development. Akelia does. As a matter of fact, I'd argue she spends the majority of the show getting her ass kicked in every imaginable way, but therein lies the problem. Take episode 5 for instance, where Akelia is pronounced as not only the champion of the House of Ashur, but also the Primus, having to take on this mountainous motherfucker. Now, I'm a 6'8", 250-pound U.S. Marine, and even I'm going to say that if I took this many unblocked punches and outright punishment from this guy, I'm going to have a hard damn time getting up. And that's me, someone who's nearly a foot taller and 100 pounds heavier than Akelia, who's 5'9" and maybe 160 pounds. But nope, Akelia is only taking a fraction of the actual damage she'd take in this scene, getting her head caved in, uppercutted, shield bashed, face planted into metal gates, thrown into wooden walls, and her hands sliced the hell open, things that would kill just about any woman imaginable. But excuse me, Total Talk, this is a show, okay? It's not supposed to be authentic, it's supposed to be entertaining. Fuck you, nerd. This show has gone out of its way to make everything else as realistic as possible, down to the annoying way every damn person talks.
As rising sun breaks dawn, so too shall the House of Ashur dispel darkest night of indignity.
I know it was true to the time, but that shit gets grating after a while. On that note, if you find my offerings pleasing to the eyes, give favor and thought of pledge to the House of Toller. Anyway, even Akelia's rise to power, or elevation to most honored position, as his damn show would say, doesn't make any sense. Tarkon has beat the shit out of her for pretty much the entire duration of the show, but the one time she manages to beat him, which only happens because he's a cocky little shit and didn't finish her, she's suddenly pronounced champion of the House of Ashur. Like, how? Tarkon has been around much, much longer. He's beaten her vastly more than she's beaten him. He's more presentable. And it's, oh well, I guess he's just not diverse enough. And look, I know what I'm saying sounds a lot like hating, but I promise you, it's not. Okay, it is. I am hating, but can you blame me? Ashur himself is acting like she's the second coming of Jesus Christ and doesn't care about anyone else. For God's sakes, Chorus tries to remind him of Tarkon and Kalatus' definitive victory that came before Akelia's, and Ashur just doesn't give a shit. He's consumed with her being his champion. And even when she is sidelined for a bit, dealing with the hand injury she sustained from the absolute beating she took from Ammonius, Kalatus wins the in-house gladiator tournament and then dedicates it to her against his own son. I shit you not, this man's own flesh and blood is out there working his ass off, taking the beatings, taking the punishment, refining his body, and doing everything he can to represent Ashur, and his father is actively working against him. And for what? Because she fucked him? You've known and raised your son his entire life, and you're taking the side of some woman you met a few weeks ago?
I'm sorry, I'm allergic to bullshit.
This show just really goes out of its way to make her seem superior in every way. Even when she's bandaged up and still recovering from her hand injury, barely able to hold onto a sword without hurting herself more, she's able to beat Tarkon with only one hand and a spear. Because you see, she was never weaker than him or anyone else. She was just haunted by her past and the killing of her sister. The only thing holding her back was herself.
Of course.
I'm saying all of this because she could be a somewhat likable character with a rich backstory who could defy all odds in an environment she doesn't belong in. But the show poses her so unrealistically, it comes off as the same pandering bullshit we've gotten over the last 10 years. What they should have done was made both her and Tarkon the emphasis of the show, showing his rise through the ranks of the Ludus, and introducing her against the other emerging female gladiators, which is exactly what happened in real life. Women were never the main show during the arena duels. They were seen more as spectacle and novelties, which is why they almost exclusively fought against animals or other women. So yeah, they could have brought other women into the mix from a wide variety of cultures, ethnicities, fighting styles, and backgrounds, and had Akelia beat the ever-loving hell out of them. Let her be as badass as she wants to be against other women, because that actually makes sense, but I guess that's something a better written show would have done.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
And it's not just Akelia either. I'm having a hard time connecting with anyone in House of Ashur. There's Chorus, who I think Graham McTavish does a fantastic job portraying, but his story gets a bit comical once Opiter dies. I mean, seriously, him taking down most of the House of Populus in episode 7 was hilarious, because you could tell his age was showing and how much the stuntman had to accommodate for his lack of mobility. Ashur himself is either as strong or as weak as the plot needs him to be, and he makes the most god-forbiddingly stupid decisions, like boasting about inheriting another Ludus or trusting this crazy white bitch with literally anything. Hilera is pretty likable, and she's vying for Ashur's love and trying to become more than just a house slave, but every time she's on screen, she's accompanied by this shithead who's trying to sabotage everything because Hilera doesn't want to be with her. And don't even get me started on this asshole, because I hate her so much, I don't even want to see her naked, and that's saying a lot, especially for me.
Gay.
Caesar isn't any better, by the way, but to be fair, he shows up for what? One episode, then magically disappears, and if you want to be honest, he's just an excuse to keep the aforementioned asshole around. And I just want to know who this show was even made for. Most women aren't going to be interested in all the blood and gore, and most men aren't going to want to watch another woman become the centerpiece of something that's always been masculine. So who the hell was the target audience here? I don't get it. Who cares? There's only, 3 more episodes of this mess left, and then it can fade off into obscurity like most of these projects do. Anyway, I appreciate y'all for checking out my review. I'll talk to y'all later.